There's been a lot of talk about Donald Trump and the gag orders, and Donald Trump's trying to skirt the gag orders, and Donald Trump violating the gag orders 10, 11, 12 times now, however many times it's been. There have been minor consequences. Mere thousands of dollars in fines. I don't even think it's reached $10,000, maybe $11,000. And there should be consequence, especially when now he is conspiring. He has entered into a criminal conspiracy with members of Congress to have them be his surrogate to break the law for him. It's not breaking the law for them. They're not on trial. Easy to say, right? It is interesting, though, that these people who call themselves the Law and Order Party are entering into this conspiracy with Donald Trump to do this. And it's outlined. We witnessed it yesterday time and time again with politician after politician, congressman after congressman after congressman. It was even acknowledged on Fox News that this is what's taking place. And it's like these assholes forget that we have video. All I have to do is do just a cursory bit of downloading a video to share with you to outline exactly how this went. First, though, let's start with Donald Trump acknowledging that he was going to test the gag order, his words, not mine, and then I'm going to outline exactly how it was done. Watch this.
Well, thank you very much. As you know, I'm under a gag order, so I can't really answer those very simple questions that you're asking. I'm under a gag order. Nobody's actually seen anything like it. But we talk about subjects we're allowed to talk about. Would love to not be in the gag order. I'm the Republican nominee for president. I'm leading in every poll, and I have a gag order. So I think it's totally unconstitutional, and we'll test that. This will be tested, because this should never happen to another candidate or another person, what's happening here. And today we had a very good day in court. You see what's happening, and you'll have to report it because I can't talk about it too much.
Some might say that was a throwaway line. I'm not one of them. Donald Trump saying that he's going to test, promising he's going to test the gag order. And I might have had a different opinion hadn't I seen this clip from Andrew Rice on MSNBC, who was in the courtroom looking over Donald Trump's shoulder while the trial was being conducted and watching Donald Trump with his notes, annotating, as he puts it, and notating on quotes from politicians, ostensibly to give them notes about how to further or better their message next time they act in concert with him to say the things he's not able to say about the jury, about witnesses, about the judge's family. Here is Andrew Rice on MSNBC.
You wearing the red tie? Yeah, Vivek, I'm wearing the red tie. You got the note about the judge's daughter? I got it, Doug. Byron, you got it? I mean, it is not, they're not even trying to hide what they're doing here.
In court yesterday, actually, I was sitting close enough that I could actually look over Trump's shoulder and see what he was reading. At one point, he was actually reading the quotes that these individuals were, and going through and making notations with a pen on the paper.
Before or after?
While testimony was going on, while Michael Cohen was testifying against him, he was actually going through and annotating and editing the quotes that these people were going to say.
I mean, in addition.
Now, as I've said dozens of times now, we need to stop giving Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. We know what he's up to. We know what he's capable of. We know what his plans are. We know what his machinations are. Stop. And after this, we witnessed all of the people who showed up dressed just like Donald Trump to give their speeches and attack the judge's family, one after the other, after the other, after the other, attacking witnesses in this particular trial. We'll start with someone you might not know, Corey Mills, a Republican from Florida, also in his best Trump costume. He said this, attacking the judge's daughter.
About Michael Cohen living off the livelihood of maintaining this, but the judge's daughter herself is also fundraising off this for people like Adam Schiff and the Biden administration. So it promotes a way of trying to move forward for people to make money on the back of President Trump. But in my opinion, they've actually provided nothing from a legal perspective that would hurt the president.
Congressman
Byron Donalds, same deal. Congressman from Florida, also attacking the judge's daughter.
Been wrong here. Nothing that has been done poorly by President Trump. The only thing that's being done wrong is by this judge. His daughter's making money, raising money for Democrats, and all of the fundraising emails and all the fundraising things are about this trial that his daughter is using. He won't recuse himself. This is a travesty of justice. This is a misuse of the justice system.
And here is Tommy Tuberville. And by the way, these are just from yesterday. These are just from yesterday. If I was to go back in days prior when J.D. Vance and Tommy Tuberville were out there, it would be the same thing, even more of the same thing. But here's Tommy Tuberville on Newsmax bragging it up about what he's doing, saying, quote unquote, that one of the reasons he went to New York City yesterday was to, quote unquote, overcome this gag order. Tommy Tuberville is not only the most military person ever, man who's never served, he also is a dumb shit who is just saying plainly what the plot is, what the plan was, that they were summoned to New York City to go to court with their dear leader so then they could violate the gag order in his stead, for him, as a substitute, as a surrogate.
Hopefully we have more and more senators and congressmen go up every day to represent him and be able to go out and overcome this gag order. And that's one of the reasons we went, is to be able to speak our piece for President Trump.
Well, that's good. You know, if he can't speak on the sham this trial is, they can't put you under a gag order. Not yet, the way things are going.
And if that's not enough, and if you think I'm just being hyperbolic, and if you think I'm just a partisan hack, that's fine. Dana Perino, host of a Fox News program, former press secretary for George W. Bush, also nailed it. She also called it. She also sees what I'm seeing and called it for what it is. Although not with scorn, almost like a attaboy. Watch Dana Perino.
Changed in 2018 when Cohen was arrested and seemed to be bent on revenge. Donald Trump still can't react to the explosive testimony after the judge denied his latest request to overturn the hush money trial gag order, but he offered up this.
You have a constitutional problem without ability to say anything about your own case. I am not allowed to talk about big portions of my case, and nothing like that's ever happened. They're allowed to talk, the other side, but I'm not. Many politicians were here today, many congressmen and senators, etc. You met some of them.
Donald Trump is gagged, but he's finding a voice in his Avenger-style lineup of surrogates, wannabe vice presidential candidates and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, all of whom have shown up to court with him.
Avengers-style lineup, Dana. Donald Trump is gagged, but he's finding a voice in his Avengers-style lineup of surrogates, wannabe vice presidential candidates, and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. He's finding a voice, indeed. They are violating the gag order as a replacement for Donald Trump. This is what we're witnessing right now. That the Speaker of the House of Representatives showed up yesterday. For what reason? I'm just supporting my friend, he said. This is obstruction. And now we're witnessing it with Mike Johnson promising to get James Comer and Jim Jordan to try to defund this as a measure of obstruction of justice, the law and order, the back the blue crowd. Come on. All this is trying to either obstruct, delay, or extricate altogether Donald Trump. Because if they were able to stop this and he becomes president, this will go away. Donald Trump will use the authority of the presidency to stop this, to stop his own consequence from coming to pass. It is what it is. Absolutely, without doubt, not hyperbole. What do you think, though? I would love to know. You can leave a comment below. We can mix it up there. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I want to hear from you. I also would ask you to please consider, if you have it in your finance, if you're on a fixed income or you're on a budget, Just make sure you're subscribed, watch these videos, share them when one moves you to do so. But if you have a couple extra dollars and you want to help support this work, click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Same deal there. I would appreciate it very much. I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.